I also have to work the sideline on Friday night. So I have to be very careful what I say this week because I don't want no drama. And I don't need no players acting like they don't want to talk to me because they mad as hell at something I said. So I'm going to be on my best behavior doing this segment right now and say, go Sun.
Okay, hey, that's the easy way. That's how you stay out of everybody's house. You know what I'm saying?
It's our season. It's our season. Hey, where you at, Sharí? Hey, where you at, Sharí? Hey, that's how hype you're supposed to be with this WNBA season. We are lit right now. I think this is probably the most anticipated WNBA season that I have probably covered. It's been this is the 28th season. I've been covering them for at least 10 of them. So, wow. It's really finally and actually here. And there are some big matchups going on for opening week. Of course, the opening game is Connecticut against the Fever. You also have the Mystics and the Liberty playing on opening night. The Aces are going to be matching up against the Mercury on opening night. So many storylines. One, we won't be seeing Brittany Griner on opening night because she sustained a toe injury, so she'll be out. But that's cool. Rosters were released on Monday, and boy, some of these teams are shaping up to be exciting. Super happy to see Kaiser Gondriak. She made the Chicago Sky roster, so super thrilled for that. Jaylen Brown is another story that is going to be so much fun. She made the Dallas Wings roster, and man, are we excited to see that. I think it's a new look Connecticut team. It's probably one of the deepest teams in the league as it relates to experience. So that's going to be fun. There is quite literally so much to look forward to. Is there any storyline that is sticking out to you guys that you're like, this season or this week or whatever, this is what I'm watching out for, Sharí?
I'm really excited about the Storm. I think there's a lot of potential there for a number of reasons, and I love a comeback story. I've been pulling for Skylar Diggins for a minute, so really excited about her. And I wouldn't say excitement, but kind of curious about the Liberty because they got smacked by the Chicago Sky. Shout out to Chi-Town. And in a way that I just wasn't anticipating, and thinking about how well they did last season, and I'm kind of like, something's off. But I'm just kind of, I have my eyes on them, for a lack of a better term. I'm an Aces girl all day. I just think they're just an exciting team, not only to watch on the court, but off the court. And I would love to see a three-peat. I'm all about dynasties, and we haven't necessarily had a dynasty like them where you just love them, just period, in a while. So they just give me a Houston Comets of old teas. I want to see them win. I love their charisma. I'm really excited to see, obviously their new additions as well. Deja making the team and Kate making the team. I think speaks a lot to just, the level of evolution and growth that we're seeing in the league in general, but also, I get nervous. I don't know about you guys, but when the draft comes, right after the draft, I get nervous for these ladies because I know everybody's not gonna make the team.
Yeah.
And so they're in a dogfight literally for like 2 weeks, trying to make a roster for a team they just got drafted for. It's mind-blowing to me how this has to happen because there's just not enough roster spots. So I'm just really excited overall for this rookie class and all of the young ladies who made it. But yeah, got my eyes on the Storm, pulling for the Aces. Liberty, who are you? Want to see, what comes of that. And I really do think this Fever Connecticut Sun game is going to be exciting nonetheless. And everybody's obviously waiting to see what Caitlin Clark does because that seems to be all people do these days. But I digress. And yes, you can message me, DM me, comment, whatever you want, tweet me, X me. I don't really care. And it's not that I'm not pulling for her, but again, I'm kind of being mindful about speaking too much about my excitement about that game because there's excitement for me. And I'm really, really keen on making sure that I celebrate not just one player and one team because there's so much to be said about this season. So that's my take, but go Aces and, of course, go Sky when they play their first game.
Yeah, Nah, the Sky. I'm really interested, to see how the Sky are going to do. Teresa Weatherspoon, Hall of Famer, Angel Reese. Showed out in her first 2 preseason games. Really looked great. Of course, she's not a finished product, but you got Kennedy Carter. Who's really bounced back after some tumultuous times with the Dream. We'll spend some time with the Sparks. You have Dana Evans. I think finally is getting the keys to the car that we didn't see before in the previous regime. So that is going to be hella fun. You got Liz Williams, so many talented players, Marina Mabry as well. And going back to your point about Caitlin, Sharí, I am dying to see how she reacts to the physicality of the Kinetic Sun, specifically Alyssa Thomas, right? Alyssa don't play around. Like, you need to be a grown-ass woman going up against her. DeWanna Bonner as well, you know what I'm saying?
And Caitlin already has a propensity to turn the ball over. We know this. So
yes,
that's something that has to be worked on. And I think these particular matchups that you're speaking of will simply expose that needs to be continued to be worked on.
And again, we're not rooting for her to fail,
No,
but
I am.
We're looking.
We're being realistic, people.
Yeah, we're being realistic.
Can't act like she makes 3-pointers, she turns up from the arc. You want to celebrate that, but we also have to acknowledge the other things that need to be worked on. She needs to stop turning the ball over. Period.
That's it. Stop turning the ball over and play some better defense. She had a great defensive play, at the end of the game against the Dream in the preseason. A nice block on Destiny Henderson, Crystal Dangerfield. But yeah, those are some of the storylines I'm looking forward to. Of course, the Liberty. I don't know what's going on over there.
Going on with them?
They
it's
played
so
better.
Weird.
They played better against the Sun, right?
It was preseason.
It is.
I know, but against the Sky, they had all their people, though, sis. They had all their people against the Sky. It was strange. It was weird.
It was weird. It is preseason, but for Sandy Brondello to say this was an embarrassing effort that we put out,
that was
and I know
weird.
my guys are embarrassed, that tells me they weren't planning for that.
It truly was an embarrassing effort. I do not, under any circumstance, give them a pass. I'm simply saying that I, too, was one who accurately but unpopularly said they were going to have chemistry issues and weren't going to play their best in 2023. And they didn't to start the season. And then Breanna Stewart decided to turn it on and they ended up in the finals. And so this is why I'm saying, from experiences learned, that the Liberty will be fine. Yes, they look terrible. Yes, they probably will start the season, but they will be fine. I'm not falling into that trap again. I also have to work the sideline on Friday night, so I have to be very careful what I say this week because I don't want no drama, and I don't need no players acting like they don't want to talk to me because they mad as hell at something I said. So I'm going to be on my best behavior doing this segment right now and say, go Sun.
Okay, hey, that's the easy way. That's how you stay out of everybody's house. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't understand about the Liberty is how they cut Jalen Sherrod. We talk about the defensive pressure that they need on the perimeter. That's where they're lacking.
The beauty about what Sharí said earlier, Chris, to both of your point, is that there are 2 new teams that are coming to the WNBA, which means there are 24 new roster spots that are going to be available. And some of these players that have been waived will have the opportunity to be on a team, to vie for a team. There'll be an expansion draft. Hopefully, now that charters have been discussed, we'll get into that. And now that the teams have been in the locations, have been needed, and keep in mind, Kathy said she wanted to get to 16 teams. Adding Toronto and adding Golden State only makes it 14. So there is still a possibility that there are 2 more opportunities for teams to come. Hopefully this now means with an additional roster spots that they may open up and expand rosters from 12 to 15. I think within the next couple of years, we'll get to a point where we will see more women with more opportunities to play versus what we're seeing now. But I do agree that Jalen Sherrod, man, was she a star in college? And I would have loved to have seen her. People get hurt. Things happen. I mean, obviously, we don't want anyone to get hurt, but people get hurt. People, unfortunately, get into trouble. Things happen where Who you look at on that opening day roster may not be who's on that roster come July. And those players that have been waived will definitely have an opportunity to get it in again. So just stay ready, stay in shape, stay active, because your number definitely could be called again.